Hello, good evening, and welcome to Mr. Chairman's House of Games. Sorry for keeping you on the edge of your seats for the last 22 minutes, but it appears that the whole of Wokingham wants to get involved in the Chairman's House of Games. So, without further ado, we'll get cracking. This is a very special Managers and Volunteers special. I'm joined live by my good friend and head of digital at Ashridge Park, Mr. David Furby. Unfortunately, Dave can't get a live video link from us tonight. It's a very dodgy satellite connection in the Binfield area. But thankfully, we have some library footage of David just alongside me, and we do have him on the line. So thankfully, we get to see his lovely face. Expect some technological thrills and spills along the way. And we're all very excited that football is back next week. This is a chance for you to test your knowledge on all things Ashridge Park. And let's face it, it was this or watching West Bromwich Albion. So without further ado, we'll get into the first round. We've got about 20 odd questions here from all kinds of different things, mainly Ashridge things. But we'll see how you get on. So mark yourself, be honest, and let's go. So question one is, which ground is farthest away as the crow flies from St Crispin's? Is it A, Spencer's Wood, B, Ascot United, or C, Windlesham United? And while you all think about that, I can say a very good evening to my friend and co-host, Mr. David Furby. Hello, David.
Hello. I'd just like to say that Mr. Eddie Me has lost his bonus points already.
Oh, and why is that?
He's saying someone looks a bit like Rasputin.
Oh, no. Very harsh.
It's getting to QI territory. He's on minus points
Get
already.
your comments in the chat there. We'll give you a shout out as we go. Apparently, Andrew Geneva is in, which is great news. Great news for him. Okay,
18 people watching.
This is big. So, question number 2 is: under EBFA rules, what is the maximum size of a 9-a-side pitch that's in yards, please? 75 by 50, 75 by 45, or 80 by 50?
Yards.
Yes, it's an old version of the measurement system, as used by Alan Youde.
Mr. Youde. He's retired, you know. Did you
know? Question 3. The Ashridge Park Managers WhatsApp group was formed in September 2015 at the start of that season. Which manager posted this report on the opening weekend? 5-1 victors, 5 different scorers, and a game played in a great spirit. Perfect start to the season. So 5 years ago, that discounts everybody from under 7s to current 11s or 12s, I guess. So somebody older than that.
That's a lovely positive report, though, isn't it?
Isn't it? That's what we like to see on the WhatsApp group.
I'd imagine it's a very nice manager said that.
Yes. Nice man. Or woman.
So this counts Lee Darcy then?
Yeah, Lee's definitely out on that.
Yeah, he'd be shouting by now.
Next question. Name the Menanja, and please don't worry about the spelling errors in this particular broadcast. name the Menanja from the anagram of their name. Okay, the first one is Clear Dye. Second one is El Merlin Stars. And the third one is Ice Crime.
The LA rapper.
Indeed. So three Ashridge managers. Mr. Patterson has just mentioned that he can't hear anything.
I just saw that.
Everything looks pretty good at this end. So if you just want to confirm, Mr. Patterson, that your volume settings are good and everybody else can hear, that will be...
Hopefully Pete will leave his child's birthday and respond if he can hear. Oh, he has.
Oh, right on cue. And happy birthday. Happy birthday, of course, to Callum Singleton. Birthday shout out there. Oh, Eddie, thank you. So, Mr. Patterson, sort your earphones out and get.
New battery in your hearing aids. Go on.
If you switch it to the T setting, we have an induction loop on this broadcast that might work. So, yeah, your three anagrams there, 3 Ashridge managers. Moving on. How much would it cost you to purchase at Banny's Baps a square sausage and egg bap, a coffee, and a can of Fanta we've all very much missed Banny's Baps. I'm not sure that my arteries have missed it so much, but I know that my taste buds have.
So that's square sausage, egg, coffee, and Fanta. That's all the food groups, I believe.
I believe it is. I think the little special edition there is the egg. Banny always asks me if I want an egg. I'd be intrigued to know if he does that with the other Ashridge representatives.
Do you always have egg?
I generally do.
There you go.
And he asks me if he wants to burst it for me, and I always refuse. I like to feel the egg dribble down my chin.
Yeah, that's the joy of an egg.
Next question: Hollywood. Which movie was filmed at Ashridge Park National Trust in Hertfordshire? Wow. I can think of a few disaster movies that could have been made on Pitch F this year.
Die Hard? No, that's wrong. Four Goals at a Funeral? No, that's not even a film.
Next question. So we got 4 70s and 80s footballers. What we want to know is, at the time that these photographs were taken, which of them is the youngest? Now, I can tell you something that is quite astonishing. That there is a young player here who's actually 24 years old. And
the hair gives it away.
even more worrying is the eldest player in this group is only 31. So we got Ron Alberts from the Hoops QPR. That's just for Gary Townsend. That one. I'm sure Gary was a big fan of Ron. We got John Dempsey from Chelsea, Mick Mills, Ipswich legend, and of course Terry Hennessy, Welsh international. Mr. Coop can probably comment on this. I'm not sure. I believe he may have played for Dundee, but you can correct me on that. So which of them is the youngest?
A lovely set of mutton chops.
You can't beat it. Right, next question. Here we got a bit of maths in this. So the accountants in the group, of which I know Ashridge is absolutely full of accountants, will do well here. So the number of years that Martin Tyler's been commentating on Sky, you need to add that to the number of Matthew Le Tissier caps, then subtract the number of teams in Italia 90 and multiply all of that by the number of times that Italy have won the World Cup.
Shout out to Matt Legod.
Indeed. Absolute legend. Yeah, I think I've got the maths right on that. But yeah.
No, I've got it immediately. I definitely nailed it.
Straight in. If you don't know the answer straight away, just jot the various bits down on a bit of paper and you can reassess that. We will have a little 2-minute break for a refill of our glasses halfway through. So there you go.
And a wee break for Ed. He's requested one.
Yes, so you can empty his bag. Next question. Easy one for you now. What's the combination code for the padlock on the container?
Oh, tricky. Oh, how do you remember it?
Well, I can generally remember 4 numbers, but there is a system that I believe we always use.
They are. I probably shouldn't mention it live on air.
Yes, in case we get taken down by the security services.
Yes, Jack Bauer will come springing through my window.
Next question. Right, okay, here's the tricky bit. So we're going to play some music now for you. So apologies if it all goes very wrong at this point. But we've got 5 World Cup songs. I really like these. 5 World Cup songs. What we want to do is listen to them, and you need to tell us which World Cup they're from, which country they are sung by, and if there's an artist involved as well, we need the name of the artist. So potentially you might get 3 points for each one.
That's big scoring.
It is. So an example would be Italia 90, England, New Order. So obviously that's not one of them. So let's go to the first one. Let's give it a go. So that was the first one. So need to know the World Cup. Who was it? What year? Where was it played? All that good stuff. So next one we're going to play. Let's go for this. Right, that was the second one. Bit of a tricky one, that one. Not a one that I'd heard a lot of, but there you go. Let's try the third one now. Right, that was number 3. All very very nice and jovial. This one, it's a bit more hard hitting, bit of passion in this. See how we get on.
The lion shall roar. We'll walk through that door to it all. We say it with pride. The lion shall roar and the sun light up my eyes. A feeling that can't be denied. A nation so small. We're gonna walk tall in the sun. We'll answer the call. Our hearts shall be beating as one.
So that was number 4. And the final one for you, I think this is definitely by far and away my favourite. Let's give this a go. Love it.
There's a time you can't go wrong when your heart arrives in America and you know the game is on. That will change your life in America. It's a land so wild and free, calling out for you and me. Ready for some action? That's the way it's gotta be. And you'll find out if you stay, you'll be making friends in America today. Okay. Far away in America, we're gonna make it, find a chance to take it, play. In America, we're gonna make it, get it up and shake it. You're gonna fight for.
It's a bit of Brokeback Mountain. I'm listening to you dance.
Okay. That was superb. Right, next question. Moving back on now to all things Ashridge. So we're obviously got big connection with the Bounty Bar. We're massive fans of Bounty, and in fact we tried to do a tie-up with Mars about 2 years ago to get some sponsorship from them with our love of the Bounty Bar, blue and white, obviously. There is a red option, of course, for the fetishists.
50 Shades of Bounty.
But here we go. What did Mars attempt to trademark on the Bounty Bar back in 2003? It's an interesting one, this one.
The colour brown.
One for the confectionery fans. Okay. Next question. How many teams took part in the Ashridge Park tournament in 2019? Now, there's one man on the call who probably has an advantage as the organizer of the event. But here we go. How many teams took part in that particular event? It was a great event. I think that was probably our best one.
But he can't hear us.
That's true. Okay, next one. What's the name of the new England women's team manager? Now, this particular individual has got a really interesting stat around the number of caps that they have for their home nation. So what's the name of the new England women's team manager? The former manager, of course, Mr. What's he called again? Phil Neville.
That was the fella. Who was before him?
Was that Hope Powell?
Oh, there's some names coming out.
Don't know. Here we go. Next question. Here we go. Name the only player to have scored. Now, I can hear someone in Stoke right now is screaming out a name, but that's not it. But name the only player to have scored in the Premier League, the Championship, League One and League Two, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the UEFA Cup, the Champions League, and the Auto Windscreen Trophy. That's the one that they all want.
What was that last one? Repeat.
The Auto Windscreen Trophy, the AWT.
Oh, the dream.
Yeah.
The dream.
The one that they all want.
Maradona dreamt of that.
Just have a think about that. All of those leagues.
A quick shout out to Miles Robinson on the blue and white banter who said Rob Earnshaw.
Oh, nice one. Thank you for that. Bit of irony. Right, next question. On the first weekend of this season, how many Ashridge goals were recorded on the manager's WhatsApp group? You get a point if your answer is within 5 goals. Now, there are obviously some teams and managers who aren't so... Well, there's only 1 or 2 who tend not to go on there and record their scores. But the vast majority, certainly on the opening weekend, tend to go on there. And even if they've been hammered, they tend to record their score. So
these are goals for Ashridge.
These are goals for Ashridge. I will tell you, it was a big weekend. It was a successful opening weekend for Ashridge.
3? I shouldn't give it away.
That's a normal weekend. Right, a little bit of lubrication there. Right, next question. Right, here we go. What new piece of football technology did Reading manager Angus Wiley describe as a piece of nonsense, only a fad? Angus, also known as Andrew, so Andrew Wiley or Angus Wiley, I'm guessing not a recent manager.
I'm guessing by the accent you did, he's from Bournemouth?
He is, yeah. Very, very, very strong accent for the Bournemouth region, yeah. A piece of nonsense, only a fad. So something that was used at Reading. What could it be? Football technology. Okay, next question. Here we go. Oh, this is a belter. This is one for all of you proper refereeing rules statos amongst you. So let's just paint the scene for you. So if a goal kick leaves the 18-yard box but is then blown back by the wind into the goal, what is awarded? So
where is Dave Dunham when you need him?
Exactly. I can think of a few places he'll be tonight. But yes, let's just paint the scenario. You're in pitch F. You're on pitch F. Your young 13-year-old goalkeeper has whacked the ball. The wind is strong southwesterly, and the ball has got a bit of lift. It's travelled outside the line in the air of the 18-yard box, so it's gone forwards. But
That's
then
a kick.
that's a hell of a kick. But then the wind has caught it mid-flight, and it's rolled back, and then he's mishandled it, and it's gone in. He hasn't even touched it. It's gone straight in. So straight in the goal. What does a 14-year-old Ashridge Park referee award? You'll all
Sounds
be
like
able.
a classic Ashridge goal to me.
We take them where we can get them, but you'll all be using this next Saturday, I'm sure. There you go. Have a think about that. Next question. Okay, so shortly after this photograph was taken, Eddie Mee was due to perform with the Filth, a very good local band, at the Ashford Park Christmas party. But due to they are excellent, yeah. Due to technical difficulties, unfortunately, Ed was not able to carry out the performance. So, can you name the song that Ed was meant to sing, with bonus points? Now, you should get it from this for the specific line of that song. So, what was Ed going to sing at the Ashridge Park Christmas party?
If it wasn't for technical difficulties.
Yes.
Yeah. I almost had another one. I'm having technical difficulties speaking now.
I think Ed was that night.
I thought the mic was broken.
Well, it was afterwards.
Right. He fell on that.
Next question.
Oh, a shout out to Eddie Mee. It was very hot.
How many teams did Ashridge Park start this season with? Now, that's all the way from our under-7s, and a big shout out to the new under-7s group who probably aren't on this call, so it's not cool enough for them, all the way through to our veterans, our over 35 teams. How many teams do you reckon? Have a quick think about that.
And that's for 2020 to 21 season, yeah?
Yeah, sorry, it's a 2020 to 21, not the 21 to 21 season, which is basically what this season is going to be, to be fair, with the large amount of lockdown we've had. So there you go. Think about that one. Right, next question.
Final question, is it, I think?
Oh, it is the final question for this round.
Yeah, well, for this round, yeah.
Final question before we give you a little drinks break. Which global football organisation has its headquarters at Walton Street, Colne in Lancashire? A very important organisation which we rely on every week at Ashridge Park, but their headquarters are in Colne in Lancashire. What organisation is that?
Global football organisation.
Indeed.
Headquarters.
So while you all think about that, we're going to give you a few minutes to nip to the loo, fill your glasses up, do what you need to do. We'll play this track. It lasts for 2 minutes and 29 seconds. So you've got that amount of time to go and do what you need to do. So we'll be back with you after this.
Sit down.
Right, welcome back to round two, and what we are having now is our alphabet round. So we got 26 questions. Each answer starts with a different letter of the alphabet.
Actually,
Yes, well, there is a bit of sequence in here, but we're not sure whereabouts we actually start this particular alphabet. So let's give it a go. We've got about 30 minutes left. We're not going to take up too much more of your Saturday night because we've already wasted a bit of it. So let's crack on. So, a fine young figure of a man here. Which team stroke year group does this chap manage? Chap in his 40s, late 40s.
50s, early 50s.
Yeah, something like that. So I will say that his team is the only team in this particular year group. So which team is that? So that's the first question. Right, next question. Which team calls the Mestalla Stadium its home? The Mestalla Stadium.
I had a pint of that last night.
A pint of Stalla?
Mestalla.
I think they serve that at the Vig.
They serve most things at a Vic.
Even during lockdown. Next question. So, from this kit, very garish kit.
Bold.
Very bold, yeah. Name the team. I actually saw this kit for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and it is quite stunning.
Quite LA.
It is, yeah, very much so. So let's go on to the next question. So with this one, you've got potential to get 5 points. You've got to name five EFL teams with an X in their name. So that's your X. We'll give you that one. But you can try and name 5 teams in the league from Premier down to League 2 with an X in their name.
I can only name one. Xylophone United.
Big team. There they are, live on the line. Next question. Who were the last ever winners of the famous Texaco Cup in 1975? A very big event. It's the one that they all want, but unfortunately they can no longer get. So the last ever winners of the Texaco Cup, 1975. If you're not sure, make a little note of it. Come back to it at the end. But yeah,
Big Cup must have been a big team.
big club. Sleeping Giant.
Oh, Sleeping Giant.
Next question. What's going on here? What is going on there? I guess.
What on earth do you mean? What?
I guess it could be 2 answers, couldn't it? So you need to think very carefully about which one it might be. He seems to be raising. The player seems to be raising their upper arm area to indicate where they want the ball played, which of course would potentially put them in a dangerous situation. But there you go.
And it's alphabet as well, so go sequentially. That might help.
Have a think about it. Next
Hand
question.
of God. Hand of God. Oh, no.
Different thing. Name the only player who's played for Manchester United, Manchester City, plus Liverpool and Everton. So he's played for the clubs of both cities. And there's a bell.
Was that the bells?
It was a bell. Yes, interesting. And I wonder what that picture is. Well, it doesn't seem to be a church or a cathedral from either of those 2 cities. And interesting.
It's not. Who would be living in there?
Yeah, interesting. Who would be climbing the towers there? Interesting. Right.
Bells. Anyway, carry on. Yes.
Next question. What is our welfare officer's surname? What is the welfare officer's surname?
Surely Yao know that.
Moving swiftly on. Who dat?
That's not Pete Singleton in the Ashridge mask.
That is definitely not Peter Singleton. He's too tall for to be Pete.
No, the stripes make him look taller, to be fair.
True, there is that.
Strong eyebrows, though.
Just to be clear as well, this event tonight is not all about an opportunity to slag off Pete, but it's always good to get the opportunity.
But it's
Oh yeah, true. So he's obviously doing that.
He's fair game.
So here we go. Next question. Which team was founded in 1991, Charter Standard 2008, and Community Status in 2014? I'm going to give you no more than 3 seconds on that question and move swiftly on. Which team calls the Neuven Stadium its home? Neuven?
Is that Swedish?
Could be
German?
Swedish, German, Austrian? Neuven. But if you, I don't know if you can zoom into the advertising hoardings at all and see if there's any references there to any particular
I'm sure Ed
location.
knows German. He's fluent in languages. He'd know
He
that.
is, yeah, he is a very cunning linguist. Next
I'll go the
question.
same route.
What is this team's nickname? Of a massively identifiable player there.
He's very wide.
I think you have a stat about this, David. Is that right?
I believe he is the widest player in the EFL.
That is impressive.
That is. Look at that chest.
I've seen this player live, and he is quite a machine. Incredible. But
I've taken Arno to see him live a few times.
yeah, it's great fun. So it plays for a team, but what is that team's nickname? Next question. Who dis? Who is this? Some of you will recognise this gentleman instantly, and some will be scratching your head slightly. But
I reckon he could have helped us earlier on.
yes, I agree. He'd have known a few of those, definitely.
That windy ball, especially.
Yes. Next question. So where are you? What team are you driving to here? And just to reference a chat entry from Edward there. Yes, this is absolutely alphabet related.
Hence being the alphabet round.
It's the alphabet round. So every answer should start with a different letter of the alphabet. So you should have no answers that start with the same letter.
And to help Ed, it's A, B, C, so it might be Aardvark, Bermuda, Clairvoyant, for example.
An incredible insight to your psyche, Dave, that those are the 3 things that you came up with. So where are you? What team are you driving to here? It seems to be a cricket pitch on the left, and we
Is that
reckon
opposite a pub?
there's a
opposite a
pub.
pub?
There's a pub on the right there, yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I'm sort of driving to the right and then I'll do a left after that corner.
I think you're right.
Might be behind those trees behind the cricket.
I think so. Next question. Who plays their home games here? This was a bit of a red herring when I looked at this earlier, because it doesn't look like what I'd imagine it to look like from the air.
Does it look a bit newer?
It does look quite new, which I wouldn't expect.
Is that the Embrook next to it? Is that Wokingham Embrook? No.
It's Lowther Road.
I reckon they have some boat races.
I think
down
you're
there.
right. I think there's a big trademark Windows banner on the side of that there. Right, next question. Here we go. Who's your Ashridge Park kit point of contact? Who looks after the kit?
I like that bag.
I like that bag. I think we might have a few of those bags in storage.
Would I be able to buy a bag like that?
I think you could for Christmas. I think we've got a few available around about the £20 mark, which is a great price for the youngsters.
Well, when we get to the answers bit, hopefully someone will let me know who I can contact to buy a bag.
Good shout. Next question. Okay, you've just played a game Saturday morning. You've been playing away, and
9 a.m. kickoff, obviously.
yep, 9 a.m. kickoff. Who have you just played if you stop here for a late breakfast before hitting the motorway home? So it looks to be a McDonald's.
I'm going for a sausage McMuffin. Would you do sausage or bacon?
I'd definitely go sausage
Yeah, every time.
with a hash brown
Oh,
and probably a latte over orange juice, if that's the option.
yeah. I do caffeine over
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah, every time.
Because you're sort of is that a bridge motorway? Is that, do you reckon?
It's certainly dual carriageway.
I reckon
So
that's got an M on it. I reckon that's an M. What do you reckon? 3, 4?
could be an M road, definitely. Next question. Whose signature is this? Our kids, their dreams. Blank. BSc with honours.
Bachelor of Science. Smells of cordial, you know.
Yes, I'm gonna reckon. I reckon that BSc is probably in physical geography.
Physical. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
as the easiest degree to achieve. I'd recommend it.
However,
I'd recommend it to all youngsters.
the media studies of science.
It's a great way to while away 3 years. Next question. What month of the year is the Ashridge tournament usually held in? What month of the year?
January. Oh, spoiler. Sorry.
Right.
Alphabet round, Ed.
Alphabet round. Think about it. It's all about the tactics. Next question. Who calls the Agborough Stadium their home? The Agborough Stadium. What an absolutely horrible name for a stadium.
It's aggressive, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Lost the summer wine lady type name.
Yes. Yeah. Trip down the Agborough. Next question. Who are you playing if you are in Lower Early? Now, again,
Spelling.
forget about the spelling. It's not about the grammar, the punctuation, or the spelling. But who are you
It's about the
playing?
enjoyment.
Because you could have an early kickoff, of course.
Exactly.
So who are you playing? Which club is in Lower Early? You may recall that a few years ago their treasurer managed to lose, I think it was around about £80,000 in an internet scam,
Whoops.
which they managed to make again in a fundraising event, which was pretty good. Next question. Oh, great stuff.
No, Siobhan. Shouts out to Siobhan.
Oh, Siobhan's.
She's just managed to connect, and one I actually know.
Oh, next, excellent. So, ex-Ashridge player Reese Smith now plays for which semi-professional team? Great result, this. I think that in the 30 years of Ashridge Park, it's probably the most successful player we've ever had.
And he was away today at Altrincham.
Oh, really? And how did he get on?
Unfortunately, 2-0 to Altrincham.
Ah, okay.
That's
Never
a
mind.
long way to drive for that.
That's a long old track, isn't it?
That's a long trek in an Austin Metro.
A man who speaks from experience. Next question. Which former Manchester United player is now a coach at Reading? Former Man U player is now a coach at Reading FC. Now, this is an interesting one because I think there's actually two, which I've just realised. Yeah, there are. There's two of these. I'll give you a point for each one. They're both reasonably famous, so you may well get this if you're involved in Reading. Next question. Name the pasta. Don't ask us why, but clearly we were struggling with one particular letter. As this one just happened to work. I've never ever had never had a pasta shaped like that. I'd call it a wheel pasta, but it's not that,
That's a lovely looking pasta, though, isn't it?
isn't it? Yeah, I'd like that. You get all the bits would get stuck in those little gaps. It'd be lovely.
All the little bits of mince inside
Yeah.
the pasta.
Yes.
Each one would be like a small lasagna.
Yeah, or if you get bored, you could just play Trivial Pursuit with them.
Yeah. As long as all your cheese pieces were meat.
Yes. Next question. What's the nickname of Woking and Embrook FC? What is their nickname?
That's a lovely badge, isn't it?
It's a terrible badge.
The
Absolutely.
orange, the green.
I was trying to work out. It's almost given me some kind of a seizure because you've got a little thing in the top left. I've got no idea what that is, and then there's a kingfisher.
That's the Embrook, Ailey. I told you earlier. Embrook.
Oh,
The
really?
Embrook is rife with kingfishers and wildlife. They love a floodplain and cheap housing.
Next question. Which footballer? I think this is the last one, Dave.
It is the last question.
Perfect.
Before tiebreaker.
About time. Which footballer who played over 500 games as a professional was given a trial at Aston Villa after writing to 14 top-flight clubs from his home in Adelaide? So literally just put pen to paper, said, I'm quite good. Can I have a trial? And one of them gave him a trial, and he went on to play 500 times. So it's quite an achievement.
So where's he from, this chap? This person might not be a chap.
Indeed, good shout. Well, clearly he's
This
from
player of unspecified gender.
unspecified gender, but from his home in Adelaide. So clearly gives that bit away. So that is the end of the alphabet round. So we'll give you 30 seconds just to compile your answers. If you've got any questions, chuck them in the chat. We'll happily go over and review any questions that you need us to. But otherwise, we will be cracking on with the answers very soon. We'll just
Do you
play.
want to do the tiebreaker first, or
Yeah, go on. Let's do the tiebreaker, and you can just have a think about this at the end. So, Dave, what was it again?
it's here we go. I've got to remember it myself. It's the number of registered Ashridge players multiplied by the number of Ashridge managers.
Correct. Yeah.
What's the number?
So the number of players multiplied by the number of registered managers stroke coaches. So anybody who does any coaching in an official capacity.
It's no particular point, but it's if we're a tie at the end, nearest answer wins.
Yes. I'll think about that.
Players times managers.
So we'll just let's just pop a bit of music on for 30 seconds, and we'll go back to the answers very, very soon.
Where on earth are you from? We from England. Where you come from? Do you put the kettle on? Kick it.
Bonjour, messieurs.
Right, we are back with you, and we will now go through your answers.
Quick shout out, two shout outs. Aaron. Got Eddie Mee. Should have won that WC. So I'm guessing that's a comment about West Bromwich Albion. Forget that.
Okay.
And Siobhan loves the maths question.
Oh, good. Excellent. Right, okay, let's crack on with the answers. You're going to mark yourselves, you're going to be nice and honest, and then you see how you get on at the end. We'll get your scores in the chat bar as soon as we've done. So add up as you go along, and then as soon as you finish, put your score in the chat, and we'll see who's ended up winning. There's no point in cheating, you're only cheating yourself. Right, first question was, which ground is farthest as the crow flies from St Crispin's? The answer was Windlesham. It's 12.42 kilometres.
Ascot being 11. Spencer's Wood 10.16.
Correct.
Windlesham.
Windlesham is the answer. Next question. Maximum size of a nine-a-side pitch is 80 by 50 yards. Now,
Easy.
I recall that nine-a-side pitch that we've got at Crispin's, the large one. I think Eddie Mee was involved in a game against Binfield where he actually counted out, the opposition coach actually paced out the pitch and found it to be too big by about 1.5 meters and insisted that the game be replayed on a different pitch. Eddie may be able to confirm that in the chat, I'm not sure. Right, next question. This lovely WhatsApp was by the former manager of the under-18s, and that was Mr. Neil Coop back in 2015.
El Presidente.
The president-elect. Well, president current, really. Next one, anagram of managers' names. See how you got on for this. So we've got Clear Dye is, of course, Lee Darcy. El Merlin Stars is Martin Sellers. Martin, I very much hope you got that. And
Shout out to Dr. Martin.
Ice Crime is, of course, Mike Rice. So hopefully you managed to get those. Next ones are right. The cost of all of that, sausage and egg bap, coffee and a can of Fanta, is £5. £5. Well worth it. Absolute bargain. Next one. The movie that was filmed was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. You get half a point for Harry Potter, and you get the full points for Prisoner of Azkaban. 1 point for that. Right. The youngest player here. Well, I'm going to start with. Let's just go for it. They're actually in order of youth. So Ron Abbott is the youngest there, is 24. John Dempsey for Chelsea is 28. Mick Mills on that picture is 29. And Terry Hennessy of Derby County in that photograph is 31 years old.
31 years young.
Incredible. He's in his prime. Next question.
I bet he had a good wag.
So here we go. Martin Tyler's been commentating on Sky for 30 years this year. You add 8 onto that. That's Matt Letizier's caps. Take away the number of teams. Yeah, they take away the number of teams Italia 90. They have 24 teams in Italia 90 and multiply that by Italy's 4 World Cup wins. You should have got 56.
Siobhan, I'm hoping you got 56. You love a maths question.
It is. Very good. The combination lock at Crispin's is, of course, 15-15, otherwise known as, David?
ISIS.
ISIS, of course. Next question. So the World Cup songs. So the first one was, I think was that the earliest one? That was. Let's have a look. That was Back Home by the England World Cup squad, and that was in 1970, Mexico 70 for Back Home. The next one we had was actually France night. Was it this time? No, I think it was the Spice Girls. That one wasn't the next one. Yeah, it was France '98, and it was How Does It Feel by England United, which featured Spice Girls and Echo and the Bunnymen, which is an interesting mix. The next one that we played was This Time, We'll Get It Right, by England's World Cup team, and that was for Spain, 1982. España, 82. The next one was excellent. That was Scotland. And the song was Say It With Pride. That was by Fish from Marillion.
Of Marillion.
And that was for Italia 90. It was obviously released well before qualification ended. And of course, Scotland failed to qualify.
A quick shout out for Neil Coop. You get a point, potential 3 points for each one.
Yeah. So let's face it. The Back Home World Cup one, you only get 2 points for that because it's going to be the England team. So if it's just the team themselves singing, you just get Back Home for Mexico 1970. So 2 points for that.
Song country tournament.
Yeah. Next one and the final one, my favourite was. It was USA in 1994. The country was Germany, and the artist was Village People and the Deutsches Nationalmannschaft, the German football team. Far Away in America was the track, Far Away in America. So that was a good round. Potentially 15 points available there. Oh, there's a bell. Next question. Mars attempted to trademark on Bounty Bars. There's 2 points available for this. You can get either one, you can get both. But Mars attempted to trademark the curved ends of the individual bars and also the 3 chevrons of chocolate on the top of each bar.
Although the picture just shows 2.
It does, and that's a bit of a red herring because one of them is kind of torn in half. So yeah, that was the trademark that they attempted to, but unfortunately they couldn't. Teams that took part in the Ashes Park Tournament 2019, 168. 168.
That's a big tournament.
Yeah, big event.
Hats off to Neil.
Great event. The England women's team manager is Sarina Wiegman. And the interesting stat about Sarina is she's the first Dutch player to get 100 caps, actually 2 years ahead of the male player Frank de Boer. So there you go, Sarina Wiegman. Next question. So the player who got all of these plus the auto windscreen trophy, I believe former Coventry, Leeds, Newcastle, Darren Huckabee. That was Darren Huckabee. Next question. On the first weekend of this season, on the WhatsApp group, yes, I did count them all, 67 goals. You get a point if you're within 5 goals. 67.
Good season.
Great season. Next question. What piece of technology did Angus Wiley describe as a piece of nonsense? That was a white ball rather than the traditional brown leather football. And that was in 1927. It was a white football. And the next question is, if a goal leaves the 18-yard box in the air, blown back by the wind, goes in the goal, what's awarded? You get a corner kick to the opposition. It's a corner kick is given. I certainly did not know that.
Only Dave Dunham would know that.
Indeed he would. The line that Ed was supposed to sing was from Band Aid, and it was, of course, the Bono line. Well, tonight, thank God it's them instead of you.
Shame about the technical issues.
It's such a shame. How many teams started the season? There was 30. 30 teams kicked off on that Saturday. I think it was the 12th. And which football organisation has its headquarters at Walton Street, Colne in Lancashire? That is Samba Sports. Samba, who make all of the goals. That's their headquarters. I think Mr. Coop will probably have gotten that one. But there you go. Right, we'll move on to the alphabet round. Rattle through these. So, where were we with this? Let's have a look. There you go. This chap, Mr. Michael Rice, of course, manages the under-16s. So, under-16s, Mr. Coop got that, of course he did. So that's that. The team that plays at the Mestalla, is it Valencia, David?
It is Valencia.
Excellent. Next question. This young chap is sporting the shirt of Windlesham United. Windlesham.
A handsome kid.
Very. Well, it's up to you guys. If you got 5, great. Just give yourself a point. If you got X's. Have you got any, Dave, that you want to shout out there? Do you know any?
X's. So I was just moving between 6 there. What are we on? X's. X. I've got them all written down there somewhere. Bear with me while I shuffle paper. X. We've got Crewe Alexander, Wrexham,
Yeah.
Exeter City,
Good.
Oxford United,
Ah, yes.
and Halifax.
Ah. Okay.
5 potential points.
5 potentials there. Let's move on. The last ever winners of the Texaco Cup 1975 were Newcastle United. So yeah, it's a big trophy to have. It's not really recognised as an official tournament, unfortunately, which is why their last official trophy was a 1969 Fairs Cup. But
Ed Mee says not the league club, Halifax.
I knew someone would pick up on that, but never mind. We're moving on.
Neil Coop, Wrexham as well.
We've done well there. So you got 3.
We're doing this for free, chaps. I don't know if it's all got my charity work, but it's for fun.
So we got 3 potential points. What's going on here? You know, this could be VAR. It could be offside. but because it's the alphabet round and we've already had Valencia, this is offside. Okay, it's all about the tactics.
So hold on, Ed Mees now said so 3, not 5 for
Yeah,
that. So yes,
yeah,
Ed,
that's right.
you are -3 for saying that.
Can you make a note of that, please, David?
Yeah, I'll put it down on the official score sheet.
Perfect.
-3, Ed.
Excellent. Next one. The only player to play for those 4 clubs is Peter Beardsley, and
The Bells.
that is that's a picture. That's a picture of Notre Dame.
Yes, Ed, you are a shambles.
So here we go. Next question. What is our welfare officer's surname? It is, of course, Alan Yard.
How will know it.
I think Alan's probably trying to log on somewhere.
He's just sipping a quick Valium. He's trying to download the facts.
Struggling with the dial-up.
I'll stop talking.
This is Gianfranco Zola.
This is live TV.
This is not Pete Singleton.
He's too cool.
Next question. Oh, that was, of course, Ashridge Park. Ashridge, start with an A. Next one. Which team calls the Neuven Stadium its home? Neuven. I'm sure that Mr. Coop could, of course, tell us the correct name. This is the stadium which is at Radcliffe, which now ground share with Bury AFC, the Phoenix Club.
AFC.
Yeah, Bury AFC. So if you can drop in the chat there, Neil, how we're supposed to pronounce it, that would be very much appreciated.
He just have not Juven.
Okay, no, Neuven.
That doesn't help.
Neuven, the Neuven Stadium. Okay, that's fine. This team's nickname, that is, of course, Akinbayi, plays for, what's it called again? Wycombe Wanderers, and their nickname is the Chairboys. The Chairboys.
Do you know why that is?
Yeah, because it was, unbelievably, the town of Wycombe is famous for making chairs, or furniture in general.
Yeah, brilliant.
There we go. Who's this? Of course, David Dunham, legendary referee, the senior referee.
And he, what's he do for the mayor? He carries a staff or something.
He carries the mayor's mace.
A bearer of stick or something.
Yes. What team are you driving to here? You're going to the Old Quarry, which is now the home of Eversley in California.
Both Eversley and California.
Yeah. So next question. This, I couldn't believe this. This is actually Fulham from a particular angle. Looks far too new, but that is the cottage, Craven Cottage, on the banks of the Thames near Barnes.
One of my favourite stadiums of the Premiership.
Yeah, well, definitely. Won't be there for long.
No.
Ashridge kit is obviously Gub. That's your G. The bags.
So if I want to buy a bag, I talk to Gub.
Contact Gub. You can contact them directly at apfckit@gmail.com.
Oh, go and buy a bag, people. Buy a bag.
Perfect. We've got loads of them in the container. I need to shift them.
I've done for a while, haven't we?
You've popped into McDonald's on the top of the M3, so you've been to Hearts of Ted Lothian. There's your
Yeah, Hearts of Ted Lothian.
Next question. Our kids, their dreams. Ian Nile, Bachelor of Science with honours degree. Hasn't mentioned his previous employer on that signature. Probably a good thing.
Was that Feltham Young Offenders?
Next question. The Ashes tournament is held in June. That's your J. And the Agborough Stadium. Remind me, Dave.
Kidderminster. Kidderminster.
Kidderminster.
FC.
Kidderminster Harriers, who had quite a good FA Cup run a few years ago, I believe. So yes, Kidderminster Harriers, Agborough Stadium. Next question, if you're in Lower Early, you're playing Laurel Park?
Laurel Park FC.
Laurel Park, that's the one. Next question, Reece Smith plays for Maidenhead United. The oldest ground, is that the oldest?
Yeah, the oldest ground held by a single club in the whole of the country.
Yeah.
If not world. Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
What's it, York? Is it York Road?
Well, yes. Rings a bell.
Next one. Four Manchester United players now a coach. Yeah, I did just remember there are two of them. So we'll give you a point for each. You can have John O'Shea and Quinton Fortune. Both there. Jobs for the boys. Next one. The pasta. What's this one, Dave?
Rotilli.
Rotelli. Beautiful.
I
That's
think
it.
we've skipped some letters, haven't we? Never mind.
That's your R. The nickname of Walker Ernbrook is the Sumas. That's your S. The footballer who played 500 games is Tony DeRigo.
Big Tony.
That's your T. Tony DeRigo. Is there any that we missed there?
No, I think we went a bit out of order at one point.
I think we did, but we got there in the end.
We got Ashridge
Just
Park,
check.
Bury
Yeah,
AFC,
had him already.
Chair Boys, Dave Dunham, Eversley, California, Fulham, Gubb, Hots of Ted Lothian, Ian Nile, June, Kidderminster, Laurel Park, Maidenhead, Newcastle, Offside, Peter Beardsley, Quinton Fortune, Rotelli, Sumas, Tony DeRigo, Under 15s, Valencia, Windlesham, Crewe Alexandra, Wrexham, Exeter City, Oxford United, Halifax, Youd, and Zola.
Yeah. And to answer Eddie's question, P was Peter Beardsley.
Quasimodo, Peter Beardsley.
Yeah. Martin Sellers has done well on the alphabet. Excellent. First time we've heard that in about 43 years. So that is the end of the answer. So it's your job now, folks. There's 18 of you online to start shoving your answers in. To put your scores in the chat so we can quickly see if we've got an outright winner. We literally give you 60 seconds to do that. So do that now, and then we'll have a winner at the end. And if we've got a tie, then we'll see who's got the tiebreaker right. So
Apparently, Siobhan's got a big X over her house. I'm guessing that's the lower early question.
could well be. So you've got 60 seconds. 6 seconds. Get them in now, quick as you can.
The lion shall roar. We'll walk through that door, do it all. We say it with pride. The lion shall roar and the sun light up my
Right. Well, thank you for the scores, everyone. We've definitely got what appear to be a top three. So just to keep it interesting, let's just get your tie-break answers. So can I ask Eddie, Neil, and Mike Potter to stick your tie-break answers in? So the question was, multiply the number of registered players by the number of registered coaches. The rest of you can, of course, play along for a bit of fun. As soon as Neil, Mike, and Eddie have put their answers in, we will reveal the actual answer. Don't all...
We open it to a public vote on popularity at that point.
Yes, we do. Now, don't all wait for each other to put one in and put one number higher or lower than the other, because that's just unsporting. Neil's gone in first. I like that.
Andrew's put one in, but you're not in there, but never mind.
Neil and Mike are in. Just waiting for Ed.
Put the wine down, Ed. Put the wine down. Perhaps Ed's having technical difficulties again. Ed's in. Right, so...
What's Ed gone for? Oh, 14. Right, okay.
Neil is 11k 265. Mike is 13,200.
Yep.
Ed
14,000.
14k exactly.
Well, I can tell you that the answer is we've got 371 registered players. There are 46 registered coaches, giving us a grand total there. Multiply those together, 17,066. So not only did Mr. Me get the most number of points, but he's won the tiebreaker anyway. So well done to you for that. All that leaves me to say is it's 9:30. We had a few difficulties at the start. We lost about 20 minutes, but we kind of got there in the end. And we've had
Thank you for watching and staying with us, basically.
Indeed, we've had a fantastic time. Many thanks from me to Mr. Furby for the great technical stuff to make this all happen. And for you guys for giving up the time and enjoying it. So enjoy the rest of your evenings and weekend. And we'll see you back at Crispin's next Saturday. Exciting. Very good night.
Eddie. Well done, Eddie.
Well done, Ed. Well done.
There's a time you can't go wrong when your heart arrives in America and you know the game is on. That will change your life in America.